Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another cryptocurrency live stream. Today, I have a lot of stuff to share. Gonna wait a couple of minutes for a couple of people to hop into this stream. Also have to quickly share the stream over in my Telegram. And then, oh boy, do we have some interesting news to talk about. You can most likely already guess a little bit from the title about what we have to discuss. But I think you guys will all find it pretty exciting. We have some news on new crypto laws in the US. There's been a little talk about that. There's a crazy Bitcoin pump happening right now as well, by the way. We're up 3% on the hour. Wait a minute. Holy smokes, DOT up 5%. This is on the hour. All these cryptos are up like crazy on the 1 hour, actually. Just noticing that right now. I wanted to talk about some crypto doing well, which is why I opened the charts, but didn't expect to see a 3% in 1 hour. Wow. So we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second as well. We have some news to say about the new legislation in the US. Brad Garlinghouse just let go of a tweet, which I think is pretty peculiar. Digital asset investor and some other guys talking about the Ripple v SEC lawsuit in the sense that it's all a show, which I guess I can kind of stand behind. The question was, should you buy the dip right now? Had a full little talk that I wanted to place for you guys on that, but I don't know. I guess since we're pumping already, I'm not so sure if I should tell you guys anymore. But I guess the answer, of course, you already know. We have then a little bit about Binance. They become the sponsor for a big company. OpenSea having a crazy amount of volume that I definitely want to talk about over on the channel today. Elrond Gold, little announcement. Apparently they had a new acquisition that I quickly want to share because it's one of my bigger holdings as well, as you guys probably know. Cardano, in this regard, we've actually already covered, but in the sense that they're doing really good in sustainability. We had 2 articles about that partially, and then a little bit here about, this one I kind of forgot about this article. Analyst indicates maximum financial opportunities for Bitcoin amid recent slump, which basically coincides with the question of, should we buy this dip? All right. Pretty excited to see you guys again in the chat box. We have almost 200 people watching already, and I didn't even share it in Telegram yet. That is already really amazing. Let me know in the chat box right now, guys. Where are you all watching from? Let's quickly put it there. And I think I might have to change the title up a little bit, as all of a sudden we got ourselves a little pump, which I didn't actually expect, gonna be honest with you. But wow. Wow. I'm literally a little bit confused. Okay, I changed the title real quick. I think we can get started. We can get it going. Whew. Okay, let's quickly read some of the countries and places, and then we're gonna get started, right? I wanted to start the stream at 50 likes, but we're already at 60, so we're good to go. We got ourselves, holy smokes, look at that, guys. Look at this. This always gets me hyped up. I don't know if you guys have that too. Just knowing how broad the XRP community is and the crypto community as a whole. Just look at that. We got Kamran, we got Adam, let's see, Texas, HU, not even sure what that's supposed to be actually. UK, India, UK, Portsmouth, UK, Toronto, Sweden, Alberta. Look at all that, guys. Look at all of that. You guys are all amazing. You already know I appreciate every single one of you, and I consider ourselves as a good little Thai community. At least not Thai, but tight. Thai community. All right, let's get this going, huh? So first of all, let's quickly get the heavier stuff out of the way. Tom Emmer just shared this over on his Twitter, and it's going really trending. It was just posted like not even an hour ago, I believe. And it's going completely viral over in crypto Twitter. As Tom Emmer, you guys probably know him, husband, father, hockey fan, and congressman from Minnesota's 6th District. He just shared new digital currency legislation coming soon. Now, I'm like, fix XRP? Come on, I mean, you know, come on, fix the whole problem. But Caleb was actually pretty interesting, saying, fingers crossed, Tom, but I've lost faith in the American system. Too many, look at the SEC. And that really made me think. Almost none of these guys can actually, I guess, really say with certainty what's going to come. The only thing with certainty they can say is that something is coming. But it does make you wonder, what exactly is going to be the first change that is made, and will they make any change before the Ripple v SEC lawsuit is fixed? And if so, then what? Because what would the consequences be for XRP? I think that's a really strange question to ask people, because like Ripple versus SEC, it's a central concept, or I guess integral concept for crypto regulation, as fair notice and exactly what party has authority. It all matters so much. So what party then is going to let go of some new regulation? Is it going to be in line with the SEC's views? Is it going to be contradictory to some SEC lawsuits that have been filed prior? There's so many questions that pop up, and whenever they talk about new legislation, new laws, I'm like, so who's going to make them, and what part of the cryptocurrency realm are they talking about? Are they talking about what constitutes a crypto as a currency? Or are they talking more so about, if you've got crypto, you got to pay tax. If you get an airdrop, you got to pay tax. If this, then tax. Maybe that's like the part that they mean when they talk about legislation. Or maybe they mean, if you're a crypto company, you can file for, this specific ruling now. But I think usually it comes back down to tax, though, if you honestly ask me. What else could it be that's not completely in line with the SEC only? Like, every other thing that's important to us, I think, is at least partially in line with the SEC, yet that would also be contradictory to Ripple then, or this could be a really bullish little announcement. It's at least going trending on Twitter now. It's got me thinking for a long while. Again, I have no concrete answers to what exactly this is, and I'm not sure if he's doing this for hype or because he's really got authority, but you already know he's a representative, or at least he's a congressman from Minnesota, so you would think he has some authority and he can't really lie like this, but then again, it's stating the obvious, right? So we don't know if there's validity to this claim or not, but I wanted to share it nonetheless. All right, then Robert says, what's up, Dusty? Much love, brother. A lot of love back, guys. Thank you all so much for stopping by, saying hi. You guys are all amazing. I appreciate it way more than I think a lot of you guys recognize, all right? I appreciate it a lot, and I really enjoy whenever you guys just chat back and have some stuff to say, and every single comment is read. Don't forget that, guys. Every single comment is read. All right. So in terms of price, I wanted to share this like a little while ago, but it's already becoming more and more apparent, I guess. I'm like, what is going on here? We had a nice little bounce from our major support zone, I'm going to call this. There's not necessarily like one point. It's more so a little zone for the Bitcoin price, basically. And we bounced there because it was our weekly support. Let's put these two numbers back to back, all right? Let's put a couple of things in here. We had ourselves, for Bitcoin, our daily support, which basically ended here at around $40.7 thousand. And then we had our weekly support, which basically stands at about $39.6 thousand. You can again see it like this as well. Quickly pop that up. You can see here, if we get automatics, there we go. Our weekly support right here landed at about, let's see here, 39.6. It's basically what it comes down to. And so the moment on the hourly, when we broke through, that's also what we're seeing right here. The moment we broke through our most close support, which is basically the open/close on the daily, which is about 40.6 thousand. We broke all the way towards that 39.6-ish thousand dollar mark before bouncing right back up because it was too crucial of a move. You can see the amount of volume that was there as people were just going completely berserk. It was also the coinciding point between one of our interesting little resistance turn support lines and our longer lasting support line, which could have been crucial to it all. I guess right now we bounced from there and actually have only started to traverse towards the other direction, as we had a nice little bottom made here yesterday somewhere. Right now we're going up piece by piece by piece. Our first most important resistance for Bitcoin coming in already at about 43.1 thousand. A lot of people on Twitter were calling out 43, which I guess is the point that we just hit actually, because you can see here we hit about, let's see, the highest point right here. Can you see this, guys? Highest point? You can. Highest point here has actually been 42,975. So I guess $43,000 we can call the closest resistance. Maybe this line is just set a little bit poorly because it's on a longer term that we put it in. $43,000, 43,000. We just faced some resistance coming right back down. Hopefully we're not going to play ping pong. I honestly expect us to retest this pretty shortly in the next couple of hours, most likely, as the majority of coins are pumping. And that's funny because the SPX, I would have expected that to pump as well in the same line, but it didn't. And right now, it looks like what we've said is going to be the truth, where we're facing a double bottom at this area. Then again, do not laugh quickly enough, as it still depends on what exactly we define as a double bottom. We can still constitute, or I guess call this out for being a bear trend like we saw basically between April and what do we call it? We could call it April and July, or April and the moment we overtook it, which is all the way towards October. It can happen in the same way again, where we've built ourselves a new all-time high, going on a small little downtrend before making a bottom and coming back up, as our official bottom, I would call out, was at about 43,000, and this time we actually closed below it. Then again, depending on how high we close this week, it could be a nice little reversal if we actually close it above 70 or 47,000, but that's a really big jump that we'd have to make on that, huh? Then again, majority of altcoins are also pumping. We just saw XRP doing quite nicely here as well. On the weekly, it doesn't actually look too nice, not gonna lie to you. It doesn't look too amazing. Let's actually hide everything. Hide all. There we go. It doesn't look too amazing on the weekly just quite yet, but again, if you zoom out, which I always recommend people to do, it does show quite drastically. Dusty drawn, okay. It does look quite drastically like we are still moving towards the upside, and it's just about zooming out in that regard. Can we actually talk about any bottom here for XRP or so? Well, it's not really any logical bottom or any formation that we can point out, but for XRP, we caught it on Bybit a couple of times. At 77 cents per XRP is our most important level for a very long time right now. I'm still going to conclude that to be the exact scenario right now. 77 cents for XRP is our closest area to watch, and I'm doing that rightfully so as well. I hope you guys are doing that. We had a nice little bounce from our previous support. And again, I've drawn in too many things. I have to tomorrow I'm going to clear all these charts with all the BS that I've put in there. But our closest support here was about 69 cents where we bounced off, and right now 77 cents is where we face our first resistance for XRP. Let's move on though, guys, because I don't want to stick around too much with all the price talk. It's not too important. So Brad Garlinghouse just let go of a little statement over on Twitter, and I wonder what you guys think about this, because we're talking again about NFTs on the XRP ledger. And I think the majority of you guys already know, I'm not really a big fan of NFTs on the XRP ledger, not at all, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's like, you have such a good working product, such a good use case, and I wonder why would you then dabble around so much in these NFTs when we know that the majority of them are just complete hype and uselessness. Then again, the way that Brad Garlinghouse and a couple of other guys over in the XP community have called it out, it's like NFTs are such an integral concept to cryptocurrencies. They can actually store non-fungible tokens. They have so many different opportunities, but people right now are only using them for art, basically. Not only, but for the most part. A small part of it is collectibles and games, but an even smaller part is for things like we can basically use multiple different things of storing value, like on the XP ledger, but we can actually see NFTs as well as like votes or so. Now, Nick Bugalis here said, I know how long people have waited for this, so I'm excited to let everyone know that the XLS20 based NFT DevNet is now available for anyone who wants to begin testing the proposed native NFT extensions to the XP ledger. And so NFTs are basically becoming a bigger concept right now on the XP ledger, and Brad Garlinghouse is also excited to share that. Ripple X Dev team launched the NFT DevNet to make it easy for developers to experiment by building and testing apps that use these new extensions to the core ledger protocol. And if you're a Pythonista, check out XAPL Pi 1.3.0, which supports XLS20D. It's important to point out the launch of this sandbox does not in any way impact the XP ledger directly at this point in time, nor does it shift our singular focus on performance and scalability. If anything, it highlights the value we place on responsible development and scaling, kind of like Cardano, I guess. And we intend to use the NFT DevNet to not only evaluate the quality of the implementation and ensure that it is polished as possible, but to also understand the operational implications the XLS20D spec will have on the XP ledger. We hope that other server operators will do the same. So XP Ledger, or Crypto Wolf says, XP Ledger is getting closer and closer and closer to launching NFTs. It's getting close, it's getting scary, as right now it's such a big concept, and I think a lot of those things are going to be full-on scams, but Brad also said, new year, new XP Ledger capabilities, and I guess from a certain perspective it's good, right? But there's just so much BS. You called that art? Not so sure what you're talking about. All right. So in regards to the part of the title, which talks about the XRP lawsuit being a show, this is the part I'm talking about here. Digital asset investors shared this. All the world's a stage file. What are we talking about? We're talking about this right here. All right, check it out for yourself for a little second and think about it in full glory, because it's definitely something that people are not gonna be one-sided on. It's definitely a 50-50 type of thing. But I think it's rather interesting. I think it's I think it's interesting. So, what I would say is, let's ponder this fact for a moment. Oh, and I'm kind of scared to actually tell you guys. You know what? I'm gonna put my headset on to kind of protect myself from anything. It's also so I can kind of hear myself talk. Actually, I sometimes like to do that. All right, XRP was first cryptocurrency ever in history to be recognized as such by the U.S. Treasury / FinCEN. It wasn't Bitcoin. It wasn't Ethereum. This lawsuit is an audit of Ripple for the role it will play in the future on the world stage. And so this is a really interesting concept for multiple different reasons. One, because a lot of people within the XRP community see this as truth. And two, because there's actually some validity to this claim. Even though I do think it's not smart to assume that this is the full-on truth and there's nothing else but this. It's something which I definitely can stand behind from a certain perspective, knowing that a lot of things in the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit make absolutely no sense. And so if you're saying that they are going through this entire lawsuit to actually set in stone a couple of different things, and this is like the easiest way to do it, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. Then again, like a couple of people are commenting, suing them might do way more harm than good, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. I can get behind that as well. And there's a couple of different points to make for both of those sides. So, can we now agree upon the fact that it's all a show? No. Can we put up an argument that it might be? Yes. And will we ever find out the truth? Most likely not. The only thing I have quite certain in my own head is that they'll win the lawsuit eventually, and that we're excited for that. One of the guys said Bitcoin is breaking 43,000 again. Look at XRP Go as well, huh? Let's quickly check it out on the hourly. Look at XRP Go. You know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to know, pump it up. Let's see Bitcoin real quick. I gotta check it out. Check it out. You guys are right. Bitcoin pumping up. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Going above $43,000. So right now we're at 42,930. That's pretty exciting. That is exciting times. Let's actually see in the chat box. How many of you guys are holding Bitcoin? Because I always ask how many of you guys are holding XRP, but let's actually check this out. How many of you guys are holding Bitcoin right now? Let us see in the chat box. Steph says, been waiting for days to get this Bitcoin long back in the green. I actually have a Bitcoin long open, and it's in the green. Actually, let me see if I have on my own Bybit account here over on the YouTubes. Again, remember, guys, I have two Bybit accounts. One is to show you all. One is my personal account. And the one I show you all is where we basically make trades together. I'm not so sure if we opened something on there recently. I think I have my XRP trade open still. Let me check it out, guys. Let's quickly check this out. You got to know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Let's check this out. Okay, so yeah, there's actually one XRP trade open here. We have an entry at about 75.9. So basically like right around now. We bought XRP. XRP long position open. Liquidation 69 cents. Profit about $60, aka 3%. Right now on the money. We put $2,000 in, which trades for about $20,000 worth. Let us see how this pulls through our XRP trade, huh? We could have definitely gotten ourselves a better long position in like just recently. But one fun fact, guys, is that my liquidation price was $69.10. Look at that, everybody. It just got to 69.5 earlier yesterday. This is like the coincidence of a lifetime, huh? I've actually had this twice where my long position did not get liquidated purely on like a half a cent or even less than that, which is really funny to me. But we're sticking with this for a little while, I think, because I honestly believe if this is not the reversal, then negative stuff is about to come. Meat Guys says, don't tell anyone what you have or tell them zero. So my philosophy about that is please don't tell anybody how much money you have in a certain specific thing. But if anybody asks you if you hold a specific crypto, I don't see the harm in that whatsoever. Depending, of course, on what it is. You know, if somebody says, hey, do you have diamonds at your house? And you're going to say yes. It's a scarier thing. But in this case here, there's a couple of different layers that keep you between other people. And remember for yourself, the likelihood of you becoming a target is very small because there's so many people who troll as well. If there's a guy saying, hey, I just made $1 million, there's a 98% chance that that he's trolling you. So for them to really go after you, it's a pretty big process to the entire YouTube stuff. So my thoughts, right? You can definitely tell other people what cryptos you hold if you ask me. Maybe you want to be more cautious with where. It's up to you. But what? I don't see the harm in that, but that's just me. Hey, look at our daily realized P&L as well. We got ourselves 588. Just one more cent and we're at 589. Now all of a sudden, everybody just made $1 quadrillion. I understand, guys. I understand. I mean, yeah. Yes, I understand. I like that. Good. Deja Vu says it just made $1 million. All right. See? Maybe he's not trolling. Maybe he is. Yeah. You know, pump it up. You got to. Let's check the minute chart. I know we shouldn't, but it's fun to watch, you know? You know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to know, pump it up. If I were to tweet out right now that XP is pumping, you know how many people would get angry at me? But wow, we're doing really well here, honestly. Finally picking back the pace, by the way. It's been a long time since XP did some, so to speak. Finally, we're starting to move again. Again, 77 cents what we're looking out for XRP right now. Woo! I'm excited, though. Let's actually pull this out a little bit. If we can. Let's see. Our lowest point is around there. It's way too big a zone, but it will work basically as a longer term bottom on maybe like a daily or weekly. Yeah, again, our most closest resistance for XRP is going to be the 77 cent mark, which is a pretty important part. I'm going to say 77.5, something along that little line. Quickly see some people sending me pictures here. Oh, guys, I'm actually noticing this just now. If you're watching this video, or this live stream, I should say, and you're enjoying the stream, make sure you press that like button. Let's get this stream up to 200 likes. All I'm saying right now. You don't have to, but if you're enjoying it, make sure you press that button. And if you don't, then don't press that button, I guess. But it's just because I think a lot of people forget to press that button, but it makes the videos or the channel just grow a little bit better. And a little question I have as well is who bought the dip? Because that was my next subject for right now. It's going to be who is buying the dip and why or why not. Because, guys, I've been buying this dip like crazy. I've been telling the majority of my friends, just go ahead and try it out. But I'm going to say here and be honest with you that we're not 100% in the clear. Right now, this little relief rally could be because we've got all our FUD out the way. And for the most part, can I move this over again? Let's get to 200 likes, guys. Let's get it pumping. For the most part, because I think this was really unfair and the dump didn't really make a lot of sense. But that doesn't mean that we're all of a sudden in the clear completely, except for the fact that the S&P fell a couple of days in a row. We've actually had that a couple of different times. Let's check this out here. And the S&P today is not doing positive, but it's not really doing too negative. All right. Right now, we're actually at plus 0.5. Before, we were like plus 0.3 or something like that. Like really, really neutral. Right now, we're at plus 0.5, which usually also means that crypto will go up. This is like a one-to-one type of thing, as I've told you guys before. And you can't really predict too much on how the S&P is, of course, going to fare, except for the fact that you can usually kind of get, okay, if there's new variant talk, prices will most likely come down. It's like pretty logical. If there's new talk for inflation or anything along those lines of rate hikes and whatnot, usually the S&P and the crypto will most likely fall down. Right now, a lot of that things turned into, like, I guess, bullishness again. And why, you might wonder? Well, because we got all our negative news out the way. So since people already reacted to it, then what would they do now? Like, why would they react to it now? You know, what's the point? Things are up. Because they've been down for a little while, so to speak. It's like it's easy to understand, but kind of strange to explain. We're already at, look at that, guys. Look at our XP long position that we kind of, I guess, theoretically speaking, just opened, right? In terms of price, we were streaming while it was at this price. Right now, we're up $200, I guess, on our XRP long. Is it a scary long? I guess so, because it's not above any of our critical zones just quite yet for XRP, and you can't really say too much about it. Look at this, for example. We had this is like a 1 hour chart, so I don't really trade this at all, actually. Never mind. I wanted to say we faced a little bit of resistance here at our most important, I guess, supply zone is at this point, but previously demand zone turned to supply zone. Came right back down before right now breaking into it and going fast, going rampant towards the 77777 cent mark. I'm going to say that it's actually at about 77 cents that our major resistance lies, but you might actually make an argument that it's just a little bit lower at about 76.73, because that's the point that we hit right there, just along this little line of things. But 77.7 is where we previously faced a lot of resistance. 1, 2, 3. We'll have to see. Right now we're at a crucial point for the XP price. Then again, longer term, does this all matter? Not really too much. We just gotta pump it up. Pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to pump it up. We're 11% profit already, doing good. Pump it up. You got to pump it up. You got to pump it up. I like that song so much. I should make that my theme song, I like that song so much you guys don't even know. There's a couple of songs which I really have a good connection to, and that's one of them. That's literally one of my favorite songs in the entire world. Pump it up. Okay, let's actually, because we talked about Bitcoin, not that many people are interested. How many of you guys hold XRP in this chat box? We have almost 300 people watching. Let's check this out. And also, I'm thinking of making sure that we do a stream every single day. XP, let's go. Hey, what's up, Dusty? Of course, XP number 1. Ooh, okay. M. Halawa says, where can I trade XRP long or short? What platform, please? So for long and short, I am personally using Bybit, of which a link is down below, but there's quite a couple of different ones you could go for. However, make sure you understand that if you're doing the long and short type of game, that you do understand that longing and shorting is riskier than just holding on to something. Robert says, talk that, Dusty. Gonna buy and price go up, lol. Well, all I can tell you is that for the most part, whenever we do these trades live, right, it usually works out quite nicely. I don't think we have actually lost the ones that we have opened in our live streams yet. But that again is also a little bit relative. Like right now, for example, we can cash this out with about 10-11% profit. But for a strange reason, I find it more entertaining to just open up positions and show you guys rather than actually take the profit. But maybe that's also just to show you guys what is possible and what happens if you don't sell. And I always tell you guys, take profit and open up another trade. Don't keep holding on like I do. But the holding on is mostly just for fun, I think. But it's better to just open up multiple different trades. And also, this is another thing you got to remember, right? A lot of people don't know this, but with leverage trading, one of the reasons why I talk about this so much is, and Mook says best trade application for US residents. Some guy told me that you can use KuCoin with a VPN, no problem, but I'm not sure how that works, nor if that's actually allowed over in the US. I'm just not sure on the rules over there, so don't hold me as your middle ground. I'm not sure what can happen to you or what happens then. It's just what I've seen in the chat box. But again, guys, I am not from the US, so I cannot tell you what is smart or what you should do or what you should go for. I'm not sure. Just try some stuff out is what I would tell you, or look it up on the intrawebs for yourself. I don't know. But I personally use Bybit, KuCoin, and I think that's made. I use some other exchanges so if there's a link down below for it, I use it. But every exchange has like some different perks as to why you would use it one day over the other. But Bybit is like my standard for leverage trading. And one of the things I wanted to say just now is one of the main reasons why you would want to leverage trade over just normal trading is partially because riskier means also more profit potential, but mostly because it's pretty strange, basically, to use your crypto and I'm not doing that here, but that's one thing you can do, to use your crypto to actually make more crypto in the sense that we do with leverage trading. You can literally use XRP and put that XRP into a trade, and from a 1% move, make 10% gains, and if you're quite certain, for example, there's going to be a certain announcement or that the lawsuit is going to settle and you have a position open, that could mean that you actually get from a 100% gains in terms of price, a 5,000% increase in whatever money you put in, so from that perspective, Wondering says, wouldn't the KYC on KuCoin stop you accessing VIP? If there's KYC, obviously, then just think about that for yourself. All right. If there's a KYC, you have to know your customer, meaning you have to send your ID. Then whatever you use, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Because if you went through the KYC, then what is the question for? The thing you're asking for, I guess, is if you're not wanting to use it. But even Bybit, I don't know. What if you, let's say hypothetically, right? Please don't hold me accountable for this as I don't know. What if you use a VPN? There's no KYC requirement. Why would you have to KYC? It's only if you want to participate into launch pads and stuff, right? Where there's like a legal binding contract. What do you have to KYC for? Or is there a KYC? I just don't know. KYC means know your customer, which is that you have to send your ID to basically verify that you're not from specific places and that you are who you say you are and that you're not money laundering and whatnot. I guess money laundering is kind of like a different part. It's just knowing who they are working with, basically. So if push comes to shove, they got your info. I use KuCoin from UK and I needed KYC. All right, I don't KYC on exchanges usually, so I don't know about that. I'm not sure exactly why you would have to KYC. Maybe for different things. Once more, I don't really know. I don't usually KYC, but you sure about that? You have to KYC on KuCoin? I can't believe that. Because my account on KuCoin is not KYC'd. I didn't do that. But it could be that you can't do specific things if you don't have KYC on there. That could be so. Let me check it out. Let me give you guys a link to KuCoin real quick. I'll put it in the chat box. There's KuCoin. If you guys know, just make sure you put it in the chat box for me as well. No KYC this end, UK. KuCoin requires KYC if you want to participate in the drops and events they have. That's for every exchange out there. Except for, every exchange out there, because that's a legal contract. There's a different thing. So you don't need to KYC to use something. You need to KYC if you want to buy pre-sales, for example, or the seed investments. That's a different thing. You know why that is partially as well sometimes? It's partially because you might also get a simple agreement for future tokens, SAFT, and that basically stands for that you have the right to get something in the future by you paying them money now. And so in that part, if they don't know who you are, it's hard to make up a contract, right? All right. And what was the news? We talked about it at the start of the video. It came down to that Tom Emmer, one of the congressmen, said that there's a new digital currency legislation coming soon, and we don't know exactly what this means. It could be literally tomorrow, could be within a couple of weeks, could be a couple of days. We don't know what this is referring to or when he is referring to anything or along those lines. Okay, so in the chat box, I'm seeing quite a couple of either newbies into crypto or just things which don't matter whatsoever. Let me put it like this. I know for a fact these things. One, you don't need to KYC to use a lot of exchanges. You can, I'm not sure if it's officially allowed in your country. I'm just telling you what's possible officially. You can often use a VPN to access things if it was not possible before. Once more, if that's something you should do is something differently, I'm not sure if it's allowed in your country or anything along those lines. I just know that it does work, as I do use a VPN sometimes, but that's purely because I use a VPN sometimes and I know it works, right? So people here are talking about fiat off and on. Obviously, there are some features on any place that might require some different things. Duh. So please just stick to things with, just think about things for a couple of seconds. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, then just skip it, I guess. Because a lot of these things, people saying, oh, if you want to do a fiat on and off ramp, you need to KYC. Obviously, you need to, yes. If you want to actually cash out to a bank account, it's not strange they want to know who you are, right? my thoughts. But right, let's skip that because before I explode. No, I'm chill, by the way, guys. She says, Dusty, what do you think of the next launch at Bybit? I actually made a video about that already, but it's not online just quite yet. I already recorded it though. Guy says, try to withdraw dollars. You can withdraw. Okay, you can withdraw. No worries at all. Maybe you're talking about fiat, but I don't mess around with that. But again, the buying crypto with fiat. So anything fiat related, just look it up properly for yourself. I don't mess around with fiat whatsoever in regards to crypto exchanges. I never really buy from fiat. The most of my money comes in USDT or in crypto as it is. So I don't need to ever work with fiat. So I don't know anything about that. Don't know what the best place would be, except for that for my family and whatever. When I set it up, I use like in the Netherlands BitFavo, or for other people sometimes Binance. But there's some on-ramp issues with Binance sometimes. But that's the two I use for it. For fiat stuff, right? Don't use Bybit for that. Don't use KuCoin for that. Don't use anything else for that. Never done, never will do, most likely. Except for maybe cashing out, I would probably use Binance for some parts because they have the card, or Crypto.com maybe. But I don't use fiat ever, really, I guess. I talk to you guys about this more often. All right. So should we buy the dip? Long story short, right? I kind of put this up a little while ago, but because of the pump, I was kind of distracted. So yeah, honestly, I am pretty excited for this dip. I'm going to tell you guys honestly, again, I'm not too sure that this is going to be the lowest of the low. I'm just going to be honest and say I don't know. And that's also why I'm literally going for the strategy right now of buying a good chunk and then knowing and keeping in my head that we can't dip further. So like right now we're at the crucial point, right, where we're going to either dip really, really hard, or this is the most bottom of the bottom and we're going to only go up from here for a long time. And so it's worth it to get this I don't know, purchase in, but it's not like everything is certain as of this point. Let me put it like that. Now, should we buy it? I think it's a pretty smart chance to buy this dip and to go for it, because at least you're already 40% down from any point that you could have bought at before, right, at the all-time high price. Analyst indicates maximum financial opportunities for Bitcoin amid recent slump. Also, there's two more things. One is that a lot of people say, hey, so why would I buy this dip if we can go down lower? Well, one of the critical pieces there is that you're at least getting a really big discount on the top. And when else are you going to buy? You're going to buy once it goes back up. It's actually one of the scarier things. There's a really big difference between telling this to a hodler or a trader. If you're a trader, it doesn't really matter as much because you're trying to actually, for example, increase your fiat patch or your BTC patch, it doesn't matter. Where you can actually, for example, start out right now with a Bitcoin, then cash out of that at one point, buy back in, and then cash out, where you're increasing that little number every single time, piece by piece, because you keep on going in and out of a trade. Same thing for fiat. You can start with $1,000, buy Bitcoin at 40,000, sell it at 60,000, then be gone. Then buy Bitcoin at 80,000 and sell it at 120,000. You know, if you're not set in stone to keep in cryptocurrency, there's something which you can do with that, basically. And the same thing goes the other way around, which is, I guess, a little bit more difficult, though, if you want to increase your Bitcoin stash in a certain sense. Let's see what you guys were saying. So from that perspective, yeah, we're at the $40,000 range right now for Bitcoin. It's a pretty good opportunity. A lot of people were thinking a couple months ago, like, oh, if only I could get another buy, and if only I could buy more. And that's one critical piece here. Right now, you are getting the chance to buy more. So I guess if you really wanted to, then use it to the best of your advantage. All right, so I'm getting a couple of different questions. How do you pay rent then? I do have some fiat, but I don't mess around with crypto in that sense. Like my fiat, I have enough fiat basically, which I can just use, but I don't cash out to fiat. I don't think I'll ever do that. I don't think it's necessary. Let's see. Steph says, I could send crypto from Bybit to KuCoin, but couldn't pay in fiat nor buy crypto outside the markets, i.e. quick buy, etc. I need fiat to start it out. Okay. Then use a different exchange maybe. I don't know. Tima says, you're cashing out on XRP. Nope. I don't sell my XRP, nor do I think I'll need to. Maybe like, I don't know. I will never sell a single XP piece below $10. That's a fact. At higher prices than that, might cash some out, but I'll definitely just put it into different altcoins. I'll not put it into fiat. And again, depends on if you call USDT fiat or not. But I guess a lot of you guys in the chat box don't, considering I see some interesting questions here. But for the most part, Steph, if you have questions like that or you don't understand, just use Google, man, because these are very elementary questions, and there's like a really simple fix to anything you got right there. So it's very simple to fix any of your problems. Not a hard thing, luckily. Ike says, I think you should stream once a day. We might do that though. I think that's also a fun thing. I like this streaming. I'm just checking. A lot of people are telling me right now, oh, crypto's pumping again. Crypto's pumping again. I think because people are happy they bought the dip finally. They bought the dip, I mean. Oh, no, there's another person who texted me just now, this minute. It's going up. It's going up. Too bad I didn't buy yesterday. But still, haha. Yeah, I guess you can be excited even if you didn't have any, huh? Crypto is such an exciting concept anyway. All right, Binance becomes official sponsor of Total Energy's Africa Cup of Nations. This is a big deal, depending on how you look at it, yes or no. I mean, it's just a big deal from the fact that Binance is really going for massive expansions right now. Then again, it does look a little bit as if this is like a paid... Oh, there we go. Never mind. This is paid post and should not be considered news. Okay, never mind. I see the sponsor tag now as well. Never mind. I was looking at it, I'm thinking, looks a little bit like a paid promotional piece. You know, but I'm still going to consider it partially as news. But right now, we're going to skip it because I think it's I don't know. If they paid that platform to be on there, I'm not gonna push it like that. It's different. It's funny how my BS detectors have kind of fetched it though, right? I've seen so many articles that I can kind of sense when something is paid. Funny that I didn't notice it before though. All right. OpenSea records over $2 billion in trading volume earlier in 2022. Just wanted to quickly let you guys know how big OpenSea / the NFT realm is right now. It is such a big deal. A lot of people are underestimating how many scams are in there, how many people are losing their money. If you're dealing with NFTs, guys, understand, it's a very good opportunity. Hey, wait a minute. We actually had a donation somewhere, I see. Okay. It will pop up in just a second. I want to say a lot of people are getting scammed. If you're looking for NFTs, make sure you got yourself something where either the community that you're joining is worth it or the events or whatever. But for the most part, that you know that the project is going to be liquid enough. So it's from like a very respectable individual making it. And there's not that many, for example. There's some sort of scarcity or there's some heavier appeal to why it will be useful over longer periods of time. For the most part, even things which come from celebrities like Gary Vaynerchuk and whatnot, those things dry up because people just don't care to buy them once the hype is over. And the hype usually lasts a couple of days where there's one or two flips. And then afterwards, people don't care anymore because the hype is gone. Sometimes not the case, but then still, you got to be lucky that your NFT itself will be sold. What I mean to say right there is just be careful when getting into NFT projects. It's a really crazy space right now. For the most part, these people who are talking about it, they make money or they get some sort of benefit out of talking about it. So I will tell you that. I think a huge amount of this volume is just purely people losing their money. Can you make money with NFTs? Yes, but not that many people do. And also, Brian says, what do you think about the new launchpad on Bybit? I'll talk about it later in the video. I already have the video made. I just need to post it on my channel. I need to think of a title. I need to think of a thumbnail. But the video is coming out. Icon87 said, can you look at the Custa charts looking to buy in? That's kind of funny. So with Custa, one of the things about it is I'm actually pretty excited about the project. A lot of people were angry at me for covering it, but I'm actually pretty excited about the project. I will be holding on, and I do actually plan on doing a pretty cool giveaway for it if you guys are excited about that. But one of the things is I noticed so many people are angry at Custa or there's something along those lines, but I don't think it's warranted. I don't think it's a thing you guys should be going for. It's like they launched on Bybit. It was too crazy. Bybit messed up. The site went down. People couldn't buy in. Oh, Custa is a scam. What? How is that a one-to-one? I literally don't understand where people are coming from in that sense. I think the majority of people made some money because the Custa launch did pretty well. I don't understand exactly how people call it a scam or anything like that. Gongmi says, I was going to get Custa, but got put off by people in your messages, or in the comments, I guess, saying you have to buy so much BIT. I didn't quite understand, but would have been possible to make 20K in Australian. Not sure about that. Not sure exactly what you mean. I don't know exactly. So how? All I want to say right there about that one is make sure you understand how a launchpad works. That's it. That's all you need to know. Just this is also a fun concept as well, huh? Read. So if you're wondering about how these things work or you're uncertain, just read what it says. Usually it's like, I don't know, 2 little paragraphs, maybe like 2 minutes of reading, and you know everything. Make sure you just do that. Then you know every single thing you need to know, so you will not get scammed, so nothing will happen. But Cust is not a scam. Then again, looking at the charts, I don't think there's too much to say because it's mostly just going to revolve around the app. I don't know if looking at the Cust chart is going to make any single difference, to be honest with you. We can do it, though. Oh, it's not even on here. I guess you're only on the Uniswap one, but it's wrapped. Not sure if that's going to be the same. Oh, it's actually to ETH as well. It's just no, never mind. This is not juicy. No, so the the Custa one in terms of should we look at the chart? I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. It's just about them getting this app out there, and so I'm definitely just gonna hold on to it and wait because I do think there could be a pretty good pump potential once they do launch out their app. So I'm gonna be sticking towards it. Will I buy a lot more though? Well, the price right now relatively is quite cheap. Specifically, if I think about the marketing that they might be going for eventually, I think it might really do quite a lot. Gonna be honest with you here, but it wouldn't be one of my main holds. You know, it wouldn't be like my number one holder in my in my top 10 coin list, for example. In terms of my biggest holdings, in terms of potential for the short term, as their app is pretty close, I would say already, it is a good potential crypto. A lot of people are calling out negative things for it. I don't think negatively of it, but again, that's just me. You might have your own opinion about the whole thing, man. I respect it all. Then Elrond, just a small little announcement about it. Elrond announces acquisition of leading crypto payments provider. Elrond can scale beyond 100,000 transactions per second at negligible costs. Network aims to harness the power of blockchain tech to make payments faster, cheaper, and more secure. Elrond and Utrust want to increase settlement speeds and cut payment processing costs. And they're making steps every single day. Every single time I look at Elrond, they made another step forward. And right now, quite a lot is happening on the Elrond front as well, which I saw everybody share over on Twitter. I'm actually going to look for a couple of different ways to make money with Elrond. I'm going to share that if I can find it out on how to buy some of the projects which launch with them and on them. You guys get it? But I haven't figured out any way just quite yet, so I don't have too many things to share, except for the fact that Elrond is expanding quite rapidly. So it might be a project that you might want to look into, as it's also one of my bigger holds out there. Just letting you guys know about that. Okay, let's see. That was Elrond. Okay, let's see. Right now we have a little section about Cardano, I'm going to say. I'm putting in the timestamps, by the way, if you're wondering. That's why it sometimes takes a little second for me to get it done. There we go. So one person says nothing is faster than XRP. Not too sure about things that are faster than XRP. And there might be things faster, but it's about the, in my opinion, right? It's about the whole package of things. It's like, we're not talking about a one or the other type of scenario where it's like, oh, only this, only that. XRP has like different perks in different fields, which make it better than others. You can't necessarily just look at one point and say, oh, it needs to be the best in any one section, if you guys understand my drift. Just put the timestamps in, there we go. What I mean with that is, it could be that there's a coin faster than XRP, but then XRP might have a different benefit, or a different benefit, or a different benefit. Every single coin has a different benefit, in the same sense that Cardano is better than Ethereum in almost any way, shape, or form, or that Elrond is better than Ethereum in almost any way, shape, or form. There's a different incentive, though, to actually hold Ethereum. And so what is faster, that's not what it's really about in the crypto space anymore, honestly. Because even if it's not faster, we could have instant settlement on the front end with nearly instant settlement in the back end. So if it takes 3 seconds or 4 seconds, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter. If it takes 0.05 or 1 second, it actually does not really matter anymore. All right, Cardano poised to reign as the most sustainable green blockchain project as it achieves 1 million trees milestone, and the other one was users frantic as Cardano gets shut out on Coinbase. ADA waivers at critical price level. This was actually one of the crazier announcements, on Coinbase. Coinbase has reportedly fixed issues with sending and receiving Cardano, which affected its platform for over 72 hours. Its latest reports state that it is monitoring the performance of the solution. No reason has been given by the US-based exchange, but many believe the problem may be the cause of an upgrade from the Cardano backend system, which is yet to be reflected on Coinbase. 4 days ago, a technical issue discovered on the Coinbase exchange prevented many Cardano users from sending or receiving ADA. The problem, which has been reported on the r/Cardano Reddit channel, has left many users distraught and full of complaints, with a good number threatening to explore other substitute crypto exchanges. Man, Coinbase is literally one of the crappiest exchanges in terms of, like, almost anything. Like, the only benefit that Coinbase has for sure is they're safe, and in that sense also widely adopted because of it. But they're not really reliable in that they're going to always be up. They're not really reliable that you're always going to be able to withdraw your stuff. They're not necessarily reliable from, or I'm going to say, like, that you can't get hacked or stuff like that. They're not necessarily the best support type of exchange. It's like, what are the real benefits? They don't have XRP. They don't plan to get back on us as to why not. I guess because they're properly regulated, they can't even attempt, and because they're in the US or whatnot. There's not really that many benefits to using Coinbase over the other. And again, some people find it useful for actually having the fiat on and off ramp through Coinbase. But generally speaking, it is not my favorite exchange whatsoever. All right, I think cryptos are coming back down a little bit again. We had a little pump and dump going, huh? A little bit. Look at that, how negative it turned again over the last hour. Had a nice little reach for the stars before falling right back down. Bitcoin coming really close to our own purported resistance. I guess just hitting a little bit above 43,000 bucks. Now getting us close to 43.2 though. Kind of cut off at about 43.1. Yeah, exactly 43.1 actually. Before coming right back down on the Bitcoin chart. Interesting. I actually want to grab that indicator here. Let me actually grab that and see how things were going. Let's see here, the heat map. So even on the heat map, let's check this out. Yeah, Bitcoin's top here, $43.1 thousand for whatever they use. Right now coming right back down. Actually, it was kind of funny because we did call out the pump while it was at this area, right? How we're going to bounce right back up because it didn't make sense. Then again, where are we going to go from here on forward, huh? It's going to be really difficult to say. It's a really interesting battle. But again, I bought myself a good dip. I'm going to be buying more throughout the next couple of days. And I recommend everybody to think of a strategy which allows you to buy over longer periods of time instead of buying all at one point. But honestly, if you had to do the way off, I think buying right now is a pretty good choice. Then again, not financial advice, your own decision. That's just my thoughts. All right, guys, I see there's still a couple hundred people watching, which is amazing. But that was the end of today's little stream here. I'm going to try and do this every single day. But I just want you guys to know, if you want to get more crypto updates, make sure you put that notification bell on the channel. And stop by every couple of hours to see if there's not a little update. As again, remember, guys, on this channel, we provide every single piece of crypto news that you need to know about in a timely manner. And so there's a good chance that if there's something happening that you need to know about, it'll be here first. Make sure you just stop by to see it though, all right? Make sure you stop by, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video or live stream later today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, saying hi, and adios amigos. See you all later in another crypto video.